We are at the end of 2021, which means it's a time to reflect on the year that has passed. Sadly, we're reminded of the celebrities who we lost this year that will be greatly missed by their fans. And at number 10, Virgil Abloh. Legendary fashion designer Virgil Abloh passed away on November 28th of 2021 after fighting a long battle with cancer. His death came as a shock to fans, as Virgil had kept his cancer diagnosis completely secret until his death. At the time of his death, Virgil was a menswear designer for Louis Vuitton, as well as the founder and CEO of streetwear brand Off-White. He was 41 years old at the time, and his death was announced on his Instagram page. The long statement read in part, quote, "For over 2 years, Virgil vigilantly battled a rare aggressive form of cancer, cardiac angiosarcoma. He chose to endure his battle privately since his diagnosis in 2019, undergoing numerous challenging treatments, all while helming several significant institutions that span fashion, art, and culture." Virgil was not only a fashion designer who made history as Louis Vuitton's first black artistic director, but he was also a DJ and a longtime friend and collaborator of Kanye West. Plenty of celebrities posted tributes to Virgil on their social media pages after the announcement, including Hailey Bieber and Kim Kardashian. And at number 9, Willie Garson. With the Sex and the City revival and Just Like That recently premiering, fans are reminded that the legendary actor who plays Stanford passed away shortly after filming Wrapped. Garson passed away on September 21st of 2021 at the age of 57. His family revealed that his cause of death was pancreatic cancer, and they asked fans to donate in his name to the Alliance for Children's Rights instead of sending flowers or other gifts. Along with being an actor, Garson was also a father and often spoke about how much he loved being a father to his special son, Nathan, who he adopted in 2009. When speaking to Page 6 about his son, Garson said, quote, "He's an adult and soon he'll be taking care of me, which is really why I got him, to be honest." And at number 8, Norm Macdonald. The comedian, best known for his role on Saturday Night Live, died after privately battling cancer for 9 years. He was 61 at the time of his death. He passed away on September 14th of 2021. Following his death, his friend Lori Jo Hoekstra wrote a statement saying, quote, "He never wanted the diagnosis to affect the way his audience or any of his loved ones saw him. Norm was a pure comic. He once wrote that a joke should catch someone by surprise, it should never pander. He certainly never pandered," adding that Norm will be missed terribly by family and friends, as well as his fans. Norm was Canadian, born in Quebec City. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tweeted following Norm's passing, quote, "The world was a much funnier place because Norm Macdonald was in it. We've lost a comedic genius and a great Canadian, sending my condolences to his loved ones and countless fans mourning his passing." And at number 7, Greg Leakes. Any fans of The Real Housewives of Atlanta know how devastating the death of Nene Leakes' husband, Greg Leakes, was. He passed away at the age of 66 on September 1st of 2021 of cancer. A rep for the couple said in a statement that Greg passed away, quote, "in his home surrounded by all of his children, very close loved ones, and wife." He was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2018, but was put in remission after undergoing 6 months of chemo. But sadly, in June of 2021, the family announced that his cancer had returned. The news was devastating to fans of the show because Greg and Nene had always had such a strong relationship and lasted even through huge fights that Nene got into with other castmates. He was truly always by her side. And at number 6, Charlie Watts. The drummer for the legendary band The Rolling Stones passed away in a London hospital. His cause of death is unknown at this time. He was 80 years old at the time of his death on August 24th of 2021. Earlier this year, Watts pulled out of a tour that the band was going to be doing around the US. He had to undergo a surgery. He gave little detail about the surgery but said it went completely successfully. A statement said, quote, "Charlie was a cherished husband, father, and grandfather," adding he was one of the greatest drummers of his generation. Apparently, following Watts' death, his other band members are starting to worry about their own fates. The National Enquirer reported that Mick Jagger has been fearing for his life following the tragedy because he thinks he could be next. A source revealed that Jagger is, quote, "feeling his mortality after the drummer's sudden death, and he's been wondering if his own is around the corner." Halfway number 5, Robert Downey Sr. The father of A-list actor Robert Downey Jr. passed away on July 7th of 2021 in his sleep at the age of 85. He'd been battling Parkinson's for more than 5 years before that. Following his death, Downey Jr. wrote a touching tribute on Instagram, saying, quote, "Last night Dad passed peacefully in his sleep after years of enduring the ravages of Parkinson's. He was a true maverick filmmaker and remained remarkably optimistic throughout. According to my stepmom's calculations, they were happily married for just over 2,000 years. Rosemary Rogers Downey, you are a saint, and our thoughts and prayers are with you." And at number 4, Kevin Clark. Kevin Clark, who acted in the hit movie Sound of Rock, sadly passed away at the age of 32 after being hit by a car. He passed away on May 26th of 2021. He was riding his bike when a car came up and hit him. He played the role of Freddie Spazzy McGee Jones in the 2003 film School of Rock. He was biking in Chicago's Avondale neighborhood in the very early morning. After he was struck, he was rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 2:04 a.m. Clark was known as the drummer in the hit movie and started playing drums when he was only 3 years old. School of Rock was a massive commercial success, grossing $131 million globally, which made it the most successful comedy musical of all time until Pitch Perfect 2 overtook it in 2015. And at number 3, DMX. Legendary rapper DMX passed away on April 9th of 2021 at the age of 50. His real name was Earl Simmons, and sadly the rapper passed away from an OD that left him in a quote vegetative state. His family said in a statement to Page 6, quote, "Earl was a warrior who fought till the very end. He loved his family with all of his heart, and we cherish the times that we spent with him. Earl's music inspired countless fans across the world, and his iconic legacy will live on forever." Following an autopsy, it was revealed that his death was a lethal combination of illicit substances, alcohol, and COVID-19. On Saturday, April 24th, a funeral was held at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, a celebration of life that drew thousands of fans. And at number 2, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Britain's longtime prince, Prince Philip, passed away at the impressive age of 99 after serving for decades as a member of the royal family. He passed in his sleep, and it's been reported that he simply died of old age. The husband of Queen Elizabeth II passed away peacefully at Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace, announced at the time. He and Queen Elizabeth were married for 73 years and was a father to the royal heirs. The Duke of Edinburgh retired from public duties in August of 2017. Following the news, the flag at Buckingham Palace was lowered to half-mast, and a notice was posted on the gates to mark the Duke's death. People placed floral tributes outside the palace, while hundreds visited Windsor Castle to pay their respects. And finally, number 1, Christopher Plummer. The legendary actor passed away on February 5th of 2021 at the age of 91. Initially, after news broke, fans assumed he had simply passed away of old age, but reports later confirmed he actually passed from a blow to the head that happened after he fell in their home. However, no further details were given by his wife. His longtime manager said in a statement, quote, "Chris was an extraordinary man who deeply loved and respected his profession with great old-fashioned manners, self-deprecating humor, and the music of words." At the time of his death, Plummer was preparing to appear as King Lear on film for the first time. The Oscar winner was best known for films like The Sound of Music, Beginners, All the Money in the World, and Knives Out. So that's all for the list. Let me know your thoughts below. But before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments from Kylie Jenner. Says relationship with Travis Scott has changed. Also, I want to remind you that the first few videos on Where Are They Now are out as of now, so make sure to check it out if you haven't already. We have one on Travis Scott and Jake Paul as of now. Tinkerbell said, Travis knows his career is done and he'll be broke when this is all done. Of course, he's gonna be nice to Kylie. She holds the key to his future lifestyle. You are so right about that. I mean, if I was in his position, like Kylie's all he has. So hell yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Angie said, oh my god, it wasn't a tragedy for them, it was a tragedy for the people who were hurt and died at his show. Sounds like they're trying to make themselves the victims, and wouldn't surprise me if they felt they were for being sued. Yeah, I feel a little bit of that, especially after that terrible interview that Travis Scott did where he was like saying, basically he wanted sympathy, and it's like, we are not giving you any sympathy for, like, people lost their lives, we're not giving you sympathy. Sorry, you're gonna get sued, you're probably gonna go broke. That's what it is. Then Vanessa said, I get Kylie's pregnant, but come on, she's just pulling the happily family card. I won't be long before they break up. I completely agree with this. I think Kylie knows what's happening. She wants the birth of her second child to be very nice, very calm, but I think after that, she's done. Then Maka said, Travis has to be the most hated celebrity right now. I completely agree. #1 most hated man in the world. Alec Baldwin was probably first, and then he like came up. I can't even believe both those things happened this year. Those are both insane things that happened this year. 2021 was crazy. Alright guys, that's all for the list today. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith, and we'll catch you in the next one.